Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to today's webinar. In today's webinar, we are going to talk about fundamental analysis. Excuse me. Applicable of fundamental analysis to forex trading. Actually, we have a different type of approach or of approaches to forex trading. One of them is fundamentals. So today we are going to talk about fundamentals. Our webinars will not exceed 30 minutes. So as we start, if you are online already, please follow up. And if you have any question, please chat with me about your question after the webinar meeting. Then I'm going to answer it immediately. For some of us that for one reason or the other we cannot be on the online webinar, as usual, I'm going to put the link for the webinar recorded version so that nobody is left out. Everybody is following up what we are doing. Today we are going to talk about fundamentals. Fundamentals are things like news or anything that can make currency behave, either positively or negatively. So as a forex trader, you will need to have this knowledge. And after this, I think the next webinar will be on technical analysis. So today we are going to consider a particular website called Forex Factory. Forex Factory. forexfactory.com. We have a lot of websites we can use that can give us fundamental information like news. Especially we normally consider news. We trade forex, we normally consider news, important news. So this is what we call Forex Factory. Forex Factory, normally, it has a lot of features, but I'm going to go straight to what we need basically. Is we can use this website for a lot of things, a lot of analysis. But like I said, I'm going to go straight to news, basically news. So now, when you look at days, you look at calendars, which is here. First of all, we need to set up the what do you call it, the calendar, so now because I'm in South Africa, so I need before I can do anything on this calendar, I need to make sure that my South African time is the same thing with the calendar time. Here in South Africa we are 9:36 for some of us that join from other country. But in our last webinar, I discussed about how to know the zones, market zones, and all those. You can use the knowledge as well. But the first thing I'm going to do here is to come to date and time. So if you click here, it's going to give us. Actually, my own calendar is already synced with my time here. But for the sake of people who want to know how to set the time, so the time zone, South Africa time zone is GMT +1. You can see GMT +1. And DST time, we need to off it. And format, we want to put it as AM and PM. We don't want to use 24 hours, please. You can use it, so far you understand it. Then you're going to do what? You save it. So when you save it, no, I think something went wrong now because we are okay. We can do auto match automatically. So this one will match your time on your laptop, on your phone, or your Android. Let me match it. So I match it now, and it gave me the correct time. So because the time is very important. If that time is not important, you are going to miss the news that you are targeting. So that's the first thing. So you can see now that the calendar, the website time, and my my laptop or PC time, they are correlated now. So definitely anything I'm looking now, it will go along with South African time. Then that means I will really see the actual things I'm looking for. Now, if we come to the left side here where the mouse is, you can see that the calendar took all the activities for the whole week. So which is from 17th to 23rd, but we know that we are not going to do anything on 23rd because market closed on Friday 22nd. So now we can leave it like this, but in most cases what I normally do is I pick daily. If I pick day from here, I'll only see the market needed to be traded for that day. But in this case, because today is Sunday and market is going to open 12 a.m. So for the sake of everybody to see what we are talking about, I'm going to choose this week. So it's going to give me from Monday, which is Monday. Now, as you are seeing, the first column here is for date. You can see May 17, Sunday, Monday, May 18, and so on. So, but if you look at the second column, it's giving us time where the event will take place, where the news is going to be released. And if you look at the third column, it's showing us the currency that the news is going to particularly release on. If you look at here on Monday 1:01 a.m., that means it's going to affect, the news is going to affect pounds on the right move PHI news. So if you look at the fourth column, it's going to show the impact that the news is going to have on the particular currency. So if you see yellow means it's low impact. It won't really have too much effect on the currency when the news is released. Sorry. And if you look at the gray one, it's not economic. It doesn't have any effect. And if you look at someone that look like orange, it will have a medium impact on the currency when the news is released. And if you look at red, it's going to have high impact. High impact that means those are the ones that will drive the market crazy in most cases. So you can see from Monday till Friday this week, these are the news that are going to be released, and these are the impact they are going to have. So now, most time I like removing all those low impact and those news that will not have any effect on the market. So what we do is we come to filter. Then when in filter, we are going to uncheck this, which doesn't have any value. Then I uncheck low impact as well. So I normally leave medium impact and high impact on the chart. Then the currency that you don't need to trade, you don't need to monitor it. So most times I remove all these exotic currency. I don't trade them. So all this pair that I'm removing will not show after I apply the filter. Now when I apply the filter, you can see now that on Monday, which is tomorrow, we don't have any news that I need to bother myself with. But on Tuesday, 8 a.m., pounds have a news that's have a medium impact, and we can trade it. This small green arrow that is pointing to the time is telling us when actually the news is going to be released. That the news is going to be released and the impact is going to have on the currency when it's released. Then you see 2:30 p.m. US dollar building permit news is going to be released, and at the same time it's a low impact. And if you look at 4 p.m., another news is going to be released on Tuesday, which is high impact, which is Federal Chair Powell testifies. Anytime Powell speaks in the market, it always have high impact on major currency actually. So now this is how we are going to use this fundamental calendar to check our news. And for example, I'm going to give us some instance. For example, let's look at how can you use this news. For example, 8 o'clock news on pounds on Tuesday. How can we use it to analyze what is going to happen on the market? When you click this small folder beside this news, when you click on it, then you're going to get some insight that will give you which direction to go in the market. Maybe you buy or you sell, or which action are you going to take. If you look at the source of the news is Office for National Statistics latest release, and the measure change in the number of people claiming unemployment related benefits during the previous month. That's the measure of the news. And the usual effect of the news on pounds, actual less than forecast, is good for currency. Do you understand what we mean by that? Now, this is actual expectation that we need, and this is a forecast, and this is a previous. Now, this is giving us hint now that if after the news the actual figure is less than forecast, is good for the currency. That means after the news, if the actual is less than the forecast, that means actual should be in for example, look at this. 12.1k is greater than 17.3k is actually less than forecast here. So if it's like this, that means pounds is going to be strengthened. Pounds is going to have higher value. And if pounds have higher value, what is going to happen in the market? Which direction are you going to go? This is the purpose of this webinar, to know that, okay, now we saw the calendar, we saw the news, but the actual is less than forecast. Then what is going to happen? That means if actual is less than forecast, according to effect that we have seen here, let me just highlight it a bit. Okay, let me do something quickly. Let me see what okay, now let me just show us something. If the actual is less than forecast, this is the main thing that will trigger action, what we are going to do. If this actual less than the forecast is good for the currency, and what means by good for the currency means that currency is going to have more power in the market. It's going to be strengthened. It's going to be strengthened. For example, let's say, because I need to make this clear to us, so let me quickly check something here. For example, let's say pounds USD is trading at 1.2345. Let's just give the example like that. Now, if this news is released and the actual is less than forecast, how do we know if it's less than? It will be in red. It won't be in green. If it's in red, that means it's less than the forecast. You understand? That means we are saying they are telling us that if the actual is less than the forecast, is good for the currency. That means pounds is going to be have be strong. And when pounds is strong, which direction are we going to go in the market? Are we going to sell? Direction? Or we are going to buy direction in the market? So now let's try to figure it out. Now the pounds, the price in the market is this before the news. Then when the news is released, let's assume that actual is less than forecast and pounds became stronger. That means when pounds became stronger, that means we need more dollar to buy 1 pound. So now look at what we have now, which is 1.2345. That is the price before the news was released. Now, if the news is released now, then USD, USD is not going to be traded here at this price again, because the actual is less than forecast. So definitely what we are going to see here, we can see 1.4 or 1.5 something. And if you look at this exchange rate here and exchange rate here, something has happened. That means pounds has been strong. Pounds is stronger than USD now, and you can see that we need more USD to buy pounds. We need $1.456 to buy 1 pound. Meanwhile, before the news was released, we need only $1.2345 to buy 1 pound. But because of this condition is hold, this condition was hold after the news was released, then pounds became stronger, then dollar became weaker, then we need more dollar to buy pounds. Now let's look at the situation whereby this condition is not hold. The actual is now higher than forecast. Then it's not good for pounds. Yeah? So in this case, what is going to happen is USD, that means if the actual is greater than forecast, that means pounds is going to be weakened. In this case, that means we can use this to represent now that dollar is more powerful because we need less dollar to buy pounds. So we need to understand this if we want to trade market with what we call fundamental. These are the way fundamental works. And what are we going to what am I trying to picture here is that if this condition holds, that means pounds. This is the price before the news was released. So let me do this. Rate before news release. So now this is the rate. Now if you look at what happened here after the news have been released here, let me copy this one out. Guys, we need to be very serious with this. This is a business that every home is supposed to know. So after news released, after news released, now what happened here? The condition met. Condition is met here. Condition was met here. So definitely pounds is going to be stronger. We need more dollar to buy pounds. In that case, what are we going to do on our trading chart? This is our trading chart. What we are going to do is actually this is not pounds USD. I just want to use it to explain. So what we are going to do is, let's say pounds USD, the price is somewhere here. Excuse me. let's say the like I said in my where is it? Like here, let's say before release of the news, this is the price. I'll take my time to explain this because you really need it if you want to understand fundamental properly. Let's say, don't ignore what is here. Let me just put it here. Insert what we want to insert text here. I want to insert it here. Test name, I don't care what is the name. Let me just put it here. Then sorry. Okay, let me reinsert the text. Insert text, or let me say text label. Insert text label. Let me put it somewhere here. Label, let me put the price before, let me see. Yeah, good. Now, this is the price before the news was released. We all agreed about that. So I've marked the line. So now when the news, after the news was released, the actual less than the forecast, that means it's good for pounds, and pounds became what? Became stronger than dollar. Then what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Which direction are we going to go in the market? Because now we need more dollars to buy pounds. We need $1.4563 to buy 1 pound. Before the news, we need $1.2 to buy 1 pound. But because news favor dollar, the news release favor pounds, definitely we need more dollar to buy pounds. So let me now come back here. That means we need more dollar, and dollar is 1.23 here. That means for us to get to enter this market now, we are going to buy, because the more we buy, the more this value increase. So the direction we are going to go, if this news favor pounds, is buying direction. We are going to buy. But now, if the news does not favor pounds, the news do otherwise, that means we need less dollar to buy pounds, because pounds is weak. That means on our chart, that means we are going to do what? We are going to sell. So we need to understand all these things. You don't just trade because you want to trade. You understand? So you need to know why you are buying, why you are selling, what are the things that is behind your action, what are the things behind your decision. So that is example one. Like tomorrow now, if you are in the market tomorrow, you want to trade, you have to have it in mind that, okay, if you are trading, and it's not pounds USD alone, it's a pounds with anything that pounds pair with. For example, let me come here. You can see pounds USD, and if I come to Forex, you can see pounds USD. This news is going to affect pounds chef, pounds Japanese yen, pounds Canadian dollar, pounds Australian dollar, pounds New Zealand. Everything that is pairing with pounds is going to be affected. So that's the way you're going to make your decision. That means if the news favor pounds is going to be stronger, and the other currency will be weaker. That means we need more of that currency to buy 1 pound. If this news doesn't go according to this forecast, that means pounds is going to be weak. Other pair currency will going to be stronger. That means you need small quantity of the pair currency, of the base currency, because let me quickly show you that. You see, pounds here is a quote currency, and US dollar here is pounds here is a base currency, and US dollar is a quote currency. What do we mean by quote currency and base currency? Quote currency is that, base currency is that we quote this currency with value of dollars. So this value that you're seeing here it was meant for dollar. It's not meant for pounds. That's the meaning of it. So, having knowing this, tomorrow, if you want to trade if you want to use fundamental to place your decision, that means this is what you are looking at. And like I said, once you see this green, that means this is the current news that is coming out at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And 2:30 p.m., we are going to see news that's going to be mild, medium on US dollar. And 4 o'clock, US dollar has this high impact news. And let's see what is written there. You see, due to testify along with Treasury Department Secretary Stephen Munchie on coronavirus aid relief and the Economic Security Act before the Senate Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs Committee in Washington, D.C. via satellite. Then the source of the news is Federal Reserve latest release. And the speaker is this person, and effect more hawkish than expected is good for the currency. What do they mean by more or hawkish than expected is good? That means if the actual is higher than expected, then it's good for which currency? Dollar. That means if the news comes out and the actual is higher than expected, then that means the dollar will be strong, and dollar will be strong and the pair currency will be weak. That means we need small dollar to buy. It depends on which currency we are talking about. For example, let me quickly give you an insight about that. For example, if it is USD, Japanese yen, JPY, and USD. Here is USD, JPY, or let's say Euro, USD. For example, you see this is base currency. In this case, USD is base currency, while Japanese yen is a quote currency. So, for example, let's say USD Japanese yen should be, let me see how they used to quote them. USD Japanese yen, quoting, I think it should be 2 decimal places or so. Okay, let me just, excuse me, let me just assume something here. Let's say it's 113.12, because it's normally used 3 digits here. Let's say the news favor dollar, and this is the price before the news was released, and the news favor dollar, that means we need, if the news favor dollar, that means the dollar is going to be strong at that time, then Japanese yen is going to be weak. That means we need more Japanese yen to buy $1. You understand what I'm saying here? So definitely what you are expecting here is USD now, Japanese yen, JPY, cannot go to like 115.7 something. I'm just giving us picture of how to interpret news when they released. So now that means if the news comes out and it pays dollar will become stronger than yen. That means we need more yen to buy dollar. But if otherwise, that means, dollar is weak and Japanese yen is high. Definitely USD, JPY can now trade it as what? As like 103, let's say 103.12. That means we need small yen to buy dollar, because dollar has become weak and yen has become stronger. So this is how the news is being working. This is how we calculated news. This is how we use news to know the direction we want to go in the Forex market. So that is how we apply all this to our trading strategy or system or whatever thing we want to call it. So I think I'm going to stop here, because this webinar is just for the basic understanding for all of us who want to dabble into trading, and we just need to have the idea. And the next webinar, we are going to talk about technical analysis. This is fundamental analysis. News is the what is pushing market up and down. We can see the effect of coronavirus on every world currency, every world stocks. If you are the one that knows how to analyze news, you can place a trade based on news, based on fundamentals. So I'm going to stop here today until we meet in the next webinar. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.